think the boys and girls will enjoy that. And we'll also make sure that you get your lunch. So we're going to resume with our fifth graders. So if everyone can get nice and still and quiet, peaceful, take a breath like Miss Mimi would say, calm breath. And we will start with Lucas.
How my best brings out the best in others. Curious, determined, caring, engaged, and knowledgeable. Engaged. This is how my family and friends describe me when I am at my best. When people are acting their best selves around others, these actions can influence people around us to be their best too. My best self can bring out many good things in other people, such as responsibility, friendliness, supportiveness, creativity, positiveness, productivity, focusedness, and politeness. I bring out the best in others by being responsible and telling them to be safe at school and not to joke around. Something that inspired me to do that was a quote that I read by Abraham Lincoln. You cannot escape the responsibility of tomorrow by evading it today. As a member of Safety Patrol and a fifth grader, I try to be a role model for younger kids. Everyone needs to be responsible, especially those who are older. Another way that my best brings out the best in others is by me being friendly and supportive. When I am friendly and supportive, it helps others by telling them not to be afraid to make friends, to make mistakes, or to be silly. I like this quote by an Irish poet, William Butler Yeats. There are no strangers here, only friends you haven't yet met. Nobody should be afraid in this world. By being friendly, you can help others get comfortable, become more social, and make friends. You need friends to have fun and to accomplish work or group projects. When you have friends, you will not be lonely. It would be very sad to be lonely. By being friendly and supportive, we tell people we like to have friends and will be a good friend to them. Another way that my best brings out the best in others is when I am being positive, enthusiastic, and calm. When you are in a good mood, you can help others relax, dream big, be creative, take risks, and not be negative. Indian author Shiv Khanna wrote, "Your positive action combined with positive thinking results in success." Thinking positive thoughts makes you happy and smile a lot. When you are smiling, it makes others smile back, so you can try to stop crime in your hometown. Thinking of big ideas and being creative can help people invent new things. New inventions help people live longer and better. Another way that my best brings out the best in others is being focused. That is a very important life. Being focused can help you and others stay on task. Get more work, keep your grades up, and helps you stay out of trouble. Staying focused and good grades will help you and others get good education and find better jobs. A famous basketball player, Magic Johnson, said that every minority kid can be so successful if they focus on their education. Good education will give you more choices in life, so you could finally accomplish what you want to be in your life. A good job can help you and your family have a better life. You can help others too. In summary, being a good person and doing good things every day will bring the best out of other people. I try to do my best every day by helping my family and my friends. A world will be a better place if we all try to do our best.
Thank you, Lucas. Dad.
How my best brings out the best in others. I can bring out the best in others. I know I can, especially in sports. It brings the best out of me. Sports will give me the strength when a win for our team seems impossible. It brings out my fighting spirit. I can go from sad and no hope to the greatest comeback of all time. In baseball, we could be losing 15-8 in the last inning, and we have the fighting and best spirit come out of us. We cheer for our teammates, which makes them bring their best out of themselves. We are like a hammer putting a nail in place, saying, we won't give up. There's no negativity, just positive vibes going all around. I can bring out other people's best with my best with something I'm good at, laughing and smiling. A smile is more than just something on your face that stays there. It can go around the world making other people happy too. Just by sitting down in a family looking at the dessert you got, you could pay for dessert for them without them asking. When good things happen, a ripple effect happens. This can bring out the best in others from your best inside you. This can also happen with negativity, but you just have to kill them with kindness. I can explain one event when this good ripple effect happened. My sister, my grandparents, and I were at a restaurant when we realized the lady behind us did something for us. We didn't know what, but she did something. As we finished our meal and were about to go, the waiter brought out a huge apple pie. We realized it was for us. As we ate our apple pie, we saw a big gathering of people looking at the pie we were eating. So, as we left the building, we hoped that the family we bought the apple pie for would do something like that for somebody else. You might not get money or something else in doing something like this, but you'll get the best pleasure of making somebody happy. Pleasure is a great thing. In the way that I just said about doing this ripple effect, it is like volunteering. You don't get paid in volunteering, but you get the good feeling of making most of your time and work. This can bring out the best in you. You also have fun while volunteering. An example of that could be when my grandpa and I went to go volunteer in a volunteer fair. When we were on lunch break, we were looking for a place to eat in the fair. And we came upon all these fascinating objects. It was really cool, like fossils and gems at one of the volunteer stations. It was fun trying to find places like this all around the fair. So really, you can make people and yourself happy just by volunteering. Now back to sports. I've noticed a lot of people do not like sports because of the negativity and competitiveness in sports. But that is what makes sports challenging. It makes sports be something that you want to keep going on. It makes you practice no matter how rainy, how hot, or how snowy it is. It makes you want to prove that you can bring the best out of yourself to help everybody around you for their best. Sports shows the best of you no matter how you do it. They show your personality. If you play around and throw your helmet up in the air in football, people will think you'll be like that in real life. A sports figure that brought out their best in others was Jackie Robinson. He proved that anybody could make it into the MLB, Major League Baseball. Jackie gave many African Americans hope and fighting spirit to bring their best out. What I do know is that my best can bring out the best in others. Thank you.
Thank you, Dad. Okay, we just had a little special change and we will resume with Ality.
How my best brings out the best in others. I've noticed something. I have a hunch. It started at home when I noticed that my mom seemed very tired and frazzled. She was straight up grumpy, so I decided to do something nice for her. I started doing the dishes, and then I took the garbage out. Her eyes lit up as she saw how I was helping her, and after I was done, she made us hot chocolate with hand-whipped cream. I had noticed that when you do nice things for others, and most of all when you haven't even been asked, is one of the greatest gifts you can give to others and also to yourself. I decided to try it out with my friends. I remember my friend Rena was going to move, and I wanted to give her something special. But on the day of her moving, I forgot it, so I gave her my ring. That ring was very special to me. But then I thought to myself, that our friendship is more important than this silver ring that will probably lose in 10 minutes. After I gave it to her, I felt proud, like I had just won a medal. I was happy with the ring, but I felt happier when she had it. After I gave it to her, a fifth grader noticed that I had done something nice. I told him what I did, and he has been nice to me ever since, because he saw what I had done and how it made me a happier and a better person. A few days ago, we had PE and we were playing dodgeball. It was very hard because a lot of the boys were aiming at me and my friends, because we kept on hitting them and getting them out. But we formed a pact. When one of us got out, we had to rescue them and go aim at the person that got us. On one of the sides there were more balls, and we were going along them, but we decided to share. If one of us got 2 balls, then we'd give 1 ball to someone with no balls. Me and my friends first did this, but after a while, everyone did it, and everyone was happy. I once read a book called The Boy with Pink Hair. It was about, you guessed it, a little boy with pink hair. He went to public school. A lot of people made fun of him, but one girl decided to be nice, and they became good friends, reminding you guys this is a picture book. And then something happened. The oven stopped working, and there's no food. The pink-haired boy swooped into action. He started making food, and then everyone else starts making food. And then at the end, the bully became nice to the pink-haired boy because the pink-haired boy was nice to him. That goes to show that being nice will bring out the best in others. One of my inspirations is Gandhi. He's one of the most famous freedom fighters in history. He led India in its struggle for freedom against British rule, and he taught Indians to fight for the right through a unique way of non-violence. In me and the rest of the world, remember him fondly as Gandhi, or Mahatma Gandhi. Maha means great soul. He believed there should never be violence. He arranged peaceful protests against the British rulers. He showed us that you can win a fight without violence. I think he's amazing and inspired many generations as they peacefully fight for good causes. Now look at America. Gandhi has shown that there's no need for violence. If it was up to me, we should just ban guns and just focus on world peace. At first I was nervous to say my belief that we should just ban guns, but then I thought that Gandhi would, so I decided to put it in my piece. I wanted to make him proud. Another great freedom fighter is Malala Yousafzai. The young girl Malala defied the Taliban in Pakistan and demanded that girls be allowed to receive an education. She was shot in the head by a Taliban gunman in 2012, but survived. Her fight for equal rights continued after she was wounded, and she won a Nobel Peace Prize for her efforts. Now look, do you see girls at your school? If not, then you're probably an all-boys school. You see, she believed in something, and she did her very best and had a great impact. Malala and Gandhi were their very best and showed us what they believed in, and made us better. You see, being happy and nice, and even telling people what you believe in will make a difference, no matter who. It makes the world better and brighter. I beg of you, please, be nice and respectful to someone today, and you know what? They will come better and brighter, and so will you. Thank you.
Thank you, Allie. Amora.
How my best means not the best in others. How does my best mean not the best in others? My best means not the best in others by me being a great role model. Being a great role model is important because it will help make the world a better place. This will inspire others to be great role models to others. And as fifth grader, it's my job to inspire others. William Arthur Warren once said, when we seek to discover the best in others, we somehow bring out the best in ourselves. I believe this is true. And I want to help others bring out the best in themselves and be a great role model and inspire others to look up to them as others look up to me. Others might look up to Maya Angelou, Rosa Parks, and Martin Luther King Jr. I chose these three people because they helped make the world a better place. They inspired others to change the world. If it wasn't for them living in the past, we wouldn't be who we are now in the future. Idols have passed over many years showing what they want to happen in the future. It could be anything that you could think of. And I chose to inspire others to make the world a better place. I believe that if we all work together, we can make this happen anytime. All you have to do is inspire and be a great role model. It is possible anybody can be inspired and inspire others. They can be role models to others and be one to themselves. If you don't believe in yourself, just believe that I believe in you. Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? Martin Luther King Jr. So what are you doing for others? What are you doing for you?
Thank you. Grace.
How my best brings out the best in others. My best brings out the best in others by just not thinking about the sad things that sadly are in this world. Just think about being happy. That sounds pretty good, doesn't it? I was told by a very wise person in my life that you should just live in the moment. Why, you ask? Because if you don't, then you're basically just worrying about the future or something you may want to fix in the past. You probably know you can't go back in time and fix something in the past. What's done is done, unless you have a time machine I don't know anything about. So, let me in on that, okay? Otherwise, you just can't worry about those things. But have faith that it'll work itself out. Everything is great, just right now, in this moment. There's some people that bring out the best in me, but if I listed them all, it would be like a 20-minute speech. No matter what type of person you are, and no matter where you live, there are people who love you and want to be with you at this very moment. Why be sad when you can be happy? This basically sums up my life. Did you know that happiness is actually better for your health? Well, it is, and don't forget it. You always have a choice to be happy. There are so many people who have done things not just for them, but for global happiness. Here's one that I think did something outstanding. This person I'm going on and on about is Martin Luther King Jr. I bet you know what he did, but I'm going to say it anyway. Dr. King had a dream, not just for him, but for every person who believes in global happiness. He believed that anyone can be equal, and look at the world now. We may still have a few issues, but nothing we can't handle. I believe that we can do anything we put our minds to. I'm saying us and we because everyone in this room is a team. I also believe that global peace and global love is so important. I just need you to promise me one thing. You will help make our Earth a happy place, and you will help to make global peace an important priority. One time I heard a loud crash coming from the kitchen. I went to the kitchen, and what do you know? My dad dropped a bowl, which smashed into bits and pieces. Luckily, I was wearing shoes, so I ran and grabbed the broom and cleaned it up. I know it was simple, but it felt amazing. I know my dad was impressed with me. I felt great once I did it, because I knew I didn't have to, but I did. One other time, I was in the gym, and I fell over as I was yelling way too much, but 3 people came to help me up. Once they helped me up, we all just fell out laughing, and it felt great, even though I was in a lot of pain the day after. Anyways, that made me feel appreciated. I got back up and kept going, and we ended up winning the game. Those are just a few examples on how this subject makes people feel good. There's proven research that laughing and smiling makes other people laugh and smile, almost as if it's contagious. Here's an example of what's happened to me. A little while ago, I had a pretty bad day, not gonna lie. But someone came and smiled at me, and it made me feel great. That just goes to show that the little things really matter. Mistakes make us better at whatever we fail at. That's not worry about being right all the time, because if you're wrong, you're wrong. That's that. Now you know how to block out the sad and block out the hate, and think about getting better yourself, which will bring out the best in others. I really hope this speech will help you bring out the best in others.
Thank you, Grace.
best brings out the best in me. Hello. And thank you because right now you are bringing out the best in everyone in this room and yourself. What do you mean? You may be asking. Well, for example, let's say you're playing sport and your team's. Well, you pick up your chin and say, at least we played a fair game. You just send a ton of positive energy out to your team and if you don't play the sport, what do you think you do? You feel you want to do as much as possible to bring out the best in yourself and others and your life. There are so many ways that you can bring out the best in others and yourself. For example, you could aim for A's and B's in your classes, pick up the letter you see in front, you can make up your mind to give someone a friendly smile, or even just doing your best at all that you do. All these are things you do every day to bring out the best in others and yourself. I know that if I see someone trying their best by aiming for A's and B's, picking up the letter they see on the ground, or even making up their mind to give someone a friendly smile, I feel a warm sensation. I think that sensation is gratitude. The gratitude that someone is doing their best to bring out the best in themselves. That gratitude brings out the best in me and hopefully bring out the best in you. I believe that when we see someone bringing out the best in themselves, it inspires us to do our best and bring out the best in another. Another example is when my best friend and I were taking a test. I could see she was having a hard time, but then she surprised me. She lifted up her chin and took a big breath, and I got right back on task and started answering questions even faster than she did before. That inspired me to do even better on that test, and I think that I did better on that test because of her. I like to think about this one drop of clean water in the polluted ocean seems very little at the time, but in 10, 20, or even 30 years, the ocean will be a lot cleaner. A couple of months ago, there was a contest at our school. It was called the MLK Writing, Art, and Poetry Contest. I entered, but also got the pleasure to see a lot of other great art, poetry, and writing from fellow students. A lot of students participated because they wanted to win an award for this contest. And trust me, that sounded great. But I did it, but I know we also all did it for the award of raising people's awareness. Honestly, yes, Dr. King did do a lot for our world, but there is still a lot that we can do to make our world a better place. I know that Dr. King brought out the best in me and many others. I know that Dr. King had just said, oh well, I guess the world that we live in will always be segregated. We would still have segregation. But Dr. King had a dream. A dream that people would not be judged by the color of their skin. My dream is that we all try our best and that we make more and more people try to do their best. It's an easy chain reaction of positivity. The great Maya Angelou said, if it's true, a chain is only as strong as its weakest link. Isn't also true? A society is only as healthy as its sickest citizen, and only as wealthy as its most deprived. Maybe it will be your best that brings out the best in the next Maya Angelou or next Martin Luther King Jr. We the people of our community, do something great and kind if we just try.
Thank you, Harper. Lucy.
How my best brings out the best in others. A simple smile can make another person happy. Being positive can spread positive energy all around you. When I first asked myself the question, how does my best bring out the best in others? I was stumped. I knew that I always strive to do my best academically and kinesthetically. That brought me to many more questions. I began asking myself, why is that? Where do I get that from? Who inspires me to do that? Then I realized that right in my own little world was another perfect example of how people inspire me to do my best. My mom and dad both went to college and got their degrees, and I want to be like them. I've witnessed their success, and now I need success. I want to go to college and earn a degree because I know that it's important, because I know that it will help me later on down the road. My parents did their best in school to get to college and get their degrees, so I would do my optimum in school, and when I'm older, I'll be able to earn a degree like they did. You should always do your best because it can be contagious, and in the end, you will have inspired someone. One example is when I play basketball. Picture this, 10 seconds left and the other team just scored. Now your team is down by 1, so the coach calls a timeout. Everyone is tired and spent, but he still expects the best. He sends you to throw the ball in, and a teammate gets it. They're trapped, but you immediately get open and catch the ball. Then you make a move on your defender and cross half court. You get to the 3-point line and you can't shoot. You've done great, and you trust that the teammate across from you will too. You fake a shot, pass the ball, and they shoot. The shot is perfect, and a buzzer beater is always exciting. Your team won the game because you did your best and your teammates were motivated to do the same. Have you ever heard the name Nelson Mandela? He became known as the champion of freedom. He led many protests, resistances, and so much more, fighting for human rights. He was fighting to end apartheid, or what we know as segregation, in his home country of South Africa. For his movements, he was jailed for many years. After finally overcoming the huge obstacle of the law, he became the first Black president of South Africa in 1994. Even after apartheid had mostly ended in South Africa, Mandela remained a global icon as well as a champion of freedom. He has inspired generations to do their best to end major issues in their communities and the world just like he did. Now that I've given examples of how other people's best brings out the best in others, I need to think about how my best brings out the best in others. I'm always trying my very best to be kind. As I already mentioned, being positive can spread positive energy all around you. When I'm kind, it brings other people's spirits up. In my opinion, if you're seeing someone enjoying themselves, you're seeing their best side. So if I'm trying as hard as I can to be as kind as possible, and my kindness brings out the best in others, then my best is bringing out the best in others. I remember International Random Acts of Kindness Day in 2015. I made a card for my PE coach, and when she read it, she cried. The rest of the day, she was so happy. The letter that I wrote brought out the best in her. She could not wipe the smile off her face. A couple of my friends went all around the school putting sticky notes on doors. They had great drawings and inspirational words on them. One of my favorites said, "You are awesome, no matter what." Another one of my favorites read, "You are the sunshine in my world," and had a rainbow drawn on it. Throughout the day, I saw 2 or 3 teachers standing outside their doors admiring the sticky notes. I saw them smiling ear to ear, which proved that they were more cheerful after reading the notes. Like I said, somebody's happier side is their best side, so the kindness of 2 kids brought out the best in teachers all over the school. Doing your best can be super easy. It's so common that you hardly even know you're doing it. One example is when you take a test. In order to complete it or meet the criteria, you have to do your leading performance. Everyone takes tests, and many of those people strive for excellence in education. Doing your best might not always mean you win or make good grades. Doing your best might mean that you're getting a B instead of a C in science. It might mean that you're coming closer to beating a really great team. Just because you're not drastically improving doesn't mean you should stop doing your best. Even if you're doing as much as you can to achieve your goals, you will seldom immediately become the best. You have to work at it, and then others will work at it as well. It's like a chain reaction. Work hard, and others will too. So remember, start a chain reaction. Thank you.
Thank you, Lucy. Fourth grade is supposed to be going to lunch, so we have 2 more 5th graders left, but if the 4th graders can get up quietly, follow Ms. Carlson, you can get go lunches, and that way you can join us for our refreshments. So if you'll get your lunches to go, and then you'll be coming back down to join us in our refreshments. Thank you, 4th grade.
Look at it outside.
I'm going to resume because we only have 2 speakers left. So we just have 2 fifth grade speakers left. So if everyone will have a seat, get quiet and still, and we will resume with Kaylee.
How my best brings out the best in others. I try to bring out my best brings out the best in others in many ways. If I try to bring out my best, other people will want to bring out their best because it will make the school or community a better place. For example, if I bring out my best behavior in school, the lower grade kids will want to do the same thing, so the school would be a nicer, friendlier place. If I try to bring out my best in safety, maybe the other kids would want to try to bring out their best in safety behavior. Like if I don't run in the halls, and I show a good example by walking in the halls, the other kids would want to try not to run in the halls. That way, when the little kids get into 5th grade, they can be a safety patrol. I have a chance to show the little kids how to be safe because I am a safety patrol. That way, I can be a good role model. Now, if I bring out my best in participating, other kids, or maybe even grown-ups, would want to participate in more activities or work because a lot of kids don't want to. Like if I show up to participate in activities or work, other kids want to do the same thing. They might want to be a good role model too. For example, I won school bus pusher contests. I won first place in the 2nd division for the district. So if I keep doing that, that would encourage more kids to compete in competitions. Who knows? They might even win. If the kids in the school participate and do good work, they could even give a speech, like I did. We always hear about the rights of democracy, but the major responsibility of it is participation, is what Wynton Marsalis said. So what the quote is trying to say is that it's important to participate. When I did the school bus pusher contest, I did it because it was for non-bullying. Bullying isn't a good thing, so the poster could be helpful. Say like if someone was bullying someone constantly, maybe they would see the poster and say, well, I think that was a bad thing. I think what I did was a bad thing. So then that person would stop and probably say sorry. So participating like that is very helpful. Now, what Theodore Roosevelt said is, knowing what's right doesn't mean much unless you do what's right. So Theodore Roosevelt is saying that if you know what's right, but you're not doing it, it really doesn't mean anything. So if I try to do all of those things, other kids in school would want to do the same thing. I'm the role model for the whole school because I'm a 5th grader, so all of the lower grades look up to all the 5th graders. If I participate, be safe, and be a good role model, other kids in the school would want to do the same thing. That's all my best brings out.
And Natalie.
Hello, everybody. How my best brings out the best in others. If everyone is doing their best, the atmosphere around us all will become very optimistic and productive. And that is the atmosphere that I, and I know many of you, like. My best brings out the best in others because when I show others that things can be done, they try those things too. Also, when I personally see someone doing their best in something, I try to do the equivalent or more for me. I always want to do my personal best, but as I was working on the speech, I started digging deeper, asking myself, why do I always strive to do my best? As I thought on it, I realized that it's because I always feel that there's more room for improvement in myself, academically and socially. Every time I please myself, I think, well, if I can do this, then what else can I do? When I have this mindset, it spreads, like the domino effect. A few months ago, I participated in a year-end horse show. I was really nervous because, like all people, I wanted to do my best. In one class that I was in, I completely messed up. I forgot which jump I was supposed to go to next and got disqualified. As a perfectionist, I was pretty upset. I walked out of the arena with my pony and another rider walked by me. She gave me a friendly smile, told me about how something similar had happened to her the year before, and told me that I would do much better the next day. Well, it turns out that the next day I did do better. I did my best, coming in second place out of a big class of great riders. Tying this experience into how your best brings out the best in others, well, this girl did her best to make me feel better, with her encouraging smile and with her words. She motivated me to do my personal best the day after. It just shows that even doing your best to have a friendly smile on your face can motivate someone else to keep on working. Recently, I have acquired a new interest. I've gotten very interested in water quality and how it affects its surroundings. If I do my best to educate others and to educate myself more on this topic, others will want to not just try, but actually do their best at helping out and educating themselves on this vital issue. This issue of dirty water is a big one, but I think that it will most definitely get solved if everybody does their best. That does include me, and that is why I've been researching and learning a lot about this topic. Water is affected by the smallest things that you do, like putting a piece of trash on the sidewalk or using face wash on your face. I know, it does seem strange, but that means that it is even more important to let other people know that they can help clear up our water. We are trying hard to clean it, but we can't clean it as fast as it is being polluted. Like the West African proverb says, filthy water cannot be washed. That is one of the basics for me. There's even an island of trash that is the size of Texas and getting bigger. That's crazy. Every single time you say, oh, it's just one piece of trash, it affects many species of life. Even in your face wash, there are microscopic plastic beads that bunch together when they get to the ocean and clog up fish's gills. Another example is lawn fertilizer. What you think is helping your lawn can really be deadly when it gets into our water supply. In water, algae uses its nutrients and gets the power to use up other animals' oxygen supply. Then the other water animals can die because of it. I think that we should pay more attention to the world of underwater animals. Their homes are constantly being piled on with pollution. And besides that, what will humans do if all of our clean water is mistreated? As Jacques Cousteau said, we forget that the water cycle and the life cycle are one. So you might be wondering, how can I help? There are many small things that you can do, like not using textured face wash or not putting fertilizers on your lawn. You can even go to a beach cleanup day. I have interviewed 2 experts on this topic and have done things like this, telling others about it. Even in this speech, I'm doing my best and giving you the gist of this issue. Now you might move on to do your best to take care of water and to learn more about this huge issue. Poor water quality is the issue that I'm interested in. Whether it's just smiling or physically helping out with something like cleaning up our water, your best most certainly brings out the best in others. I'm challenging you, right now, right here, to find a problem, something that you care about, and then help it, and teach others about it, and they will do the same. Thank you.
Thank you, Natalie. Let's give our 5th grade. Sorry the 4th graders weren't here to applaud our 5th graders, but you did a great job, 5th graders, as our seniors of the school. We will now keep our speeches under our seats and quietly walk over to the science lab. And boys and girls, we're hoping that Dr. Sabatini will be able to come down and join
She's not
us.
gonna be able to come.
Oh, she is not going to be able to come down. Thank you. Okay. So great. Ms. Leahy is back and at her meeting. So 36 contestants, 36 wonderful speeches. This is a hard time in some ways, but just want to encourage everybody to remember that I was saying this to one of the parents at sort of intermission, you do your best, you put it out there, and then it's out of your hands. And this contest, you can compete in this contest through 12th grade, the last year of high school. You know from what Mr. Malden said about Fred Smith, that you can try and not win, and then you try again, and maybe you win at your school, and then you don't go on, and you just keep doing it. You can do this till 12th grade. So we encourage you to do that. And would you like me to make the announcement first, or would you like to come make a few closing remarks first?
I can just say
Thank
something
you,
quick.
Ms.
That
Leahy.
people have been here a long time. Talk about stamina for families and for kids and sitting and listening and supporting one another. So I guess we just want to say again that we're so proud of all of you. I said at the beginning, it takes bravery to get up and talk in front of people. And I think, Ms. Mullen says everybody can't win today. But I don't think everybody does this because they want, because they have to win. You do it to improve yourself and to send the message that you have. And so again, we're just really, really proud of each and every one of you for what you did and for taking time to participate in this oratorical contest. So thank you.
And if you are a 3rd or 4th grader, we certainly look forward to hearing what you have to say next year. And I loved what you said this year. So our judges, and again, we thank Demacy, who had to rush off to class at UGA, Miss Mayer and Miss Adamson for being our judges today. They had the most difficult job of all. And we will later meet with our 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders and give all of you some feedback, which will be useful and helpful to you. So without further ado, we would like to announce our winners for the boys. And, so we have 2 honorable mentions that we would like to recognize in our boys. And they are Beck Ramsey and they are John Haynes, honorable mention. Very proud of everybody, but those performances were so great. Our 2nd place boy winner for Barrow Elementary School this year, Sam Kiefer. And our first place, no first graders, first place boy representing Barrow this year is Yeyun Han. And to move on to our girl competition, which had so many girls participating, we have 2 honorable mentions. We would like to congratulate Alice Adams and Nora Murphy. Honorable mention. And our 2nd place girl, we would like to recognize Demi Thomas. And our 1st place girl at Barrow, Lucy Renz. So boys and girls, it is hard when you don't hear your name, but your name was mentioned in that room. It was such a difficult decision. I can just assure you, because Ms. Hicks and I were like flies in the wall in there. Very difficult decision. We're proud of each and every one of you. I'm always touched and moved by what you have to say. We will be meeting again with you. It's not really over. We're going to be debriefing and going over feedback. You did a great job of being a great audience, boys and girls. This is a very long time to be that quiet and still and respectful. So thank you so much. And our 3rd graders can now follow Ms. Hicks up, because you will 3rd grade boys line up.
Great job, everybody.
3rd grade girls.